What's going on, YouTube? I hope y'all having a great February 4th, 2015. We're gonna start right into it. Y'all know what I'm about. Okay. I actually started my picks early. I don't have much time today, so I'm gonna try to be as swift as possible. But you know, when I get caught up in basketball, I can't stop talking about it. Westbrook tonight, I like him a whole lot. I don't see any issues. Let me go ahead and pull the young fella up. Going against the Pelicans tonight. The Pelicans aren't too strong on defense. Drew Holiday's out. Tyreek Evans mans a lot of those point guard responsibilities. He's not going to have any energy to just totally stop Westbrook, so I'm not too worried about that. They're not going to put Anthony Davis in the lane to get any fouls off Westbrook because they're going to need him if they want to keep this game close. Omer Sheik definitely can't provide any rim protection against Westbrook. Westbrook just has a lot of heart, as y'all know. We're gonna go look at Lowry. I like Lowry for less than 37. I really do. Tonight he's been on a steady streak, as I mentioned. I always pick against him, and if you've been making my picks, Lowry's lost every competition that I've put against him. It's like he just can't get over my obstacles or their obstacles, as we say. Lowry's not gonna struggle against the Nets. I see him around the 33 to 35 tonight. The Nets just aren't great at defense. It's just that they have Lewis Williams and DeMar DeRozan who constantly need the ball in their hands. So Lowry is efficient at the high pick and roll. He can actually be said to hunt for it, and when he doesn't get it, he passes out. He's a good team player, though. No knock against him. I'm just saying he's gonna go under 37, I believe, tonight. This is the one my pick out of all of these I would worry about most, just because I'm nervous about that one. I would X that one out. I'm gonna play another matchup. Brandon Knight, if I can get him to come back tonight against the Lakers, worst defense in the league against point guards, Len Clarkson. Uh, hey, open season, open season. I hope Jason Kidd lets Brandon Knight run loose. I just hope this guy dominates. 34, I believe in him tonight. I got faith in him. What I look to see from him is just go ahead, penetrate, be aggressive. He'll get a few passes. I'll even like a few rebounds tonight just due to the fact that Jordan Hill, Robert Sanker, forgive me if I butchered his name, are the big man down low. Ryan Kelly, also Tariq Black. Even if some of them are out, I believe. Ooh, I want to say. Now I don't think I think Hill's back, y'all. Forgive me for that one. But even if all of them are there, I believe Brandon Knight will steal a few rebounds. Rebounds is going to be a big part of him reaching this 34, just due to the fact that he's not necessarily going to jump out at you with scoring. I just want him to see him get a 30-point game. I'm itching for it. I'm fiending. So we're gonna put some faith in him tonight. Whiteside against the Timberwolves. He's going against Gorgie Dang. I like Whiteside. He's been on a tear. He actually went over in one of my matchups last night. I believe it was 33 last night. It was exactly 33, and I, I don't see much wrong with that. He's gonna beat out 33. Timberwolves are too gifted at the center position. Gorgie Dang is still learning. Whiteside's been a beast, so I won't be shocked to see him go ahead and get 40 tonight. 40 fantasy points, that is. Y'all don't get me wrong now. I'm not expecting 40 from Whiteside. I have seen no hook shot yet from him. I've seen no fadeaway turnaround. I just see straight dunks. But as long as he can get me 8 to 10 of those straight dunks, we can work with it. Because you know those rebounds are gonna be 13 to 16 tonight. I mean, it just varies with this guy, but this guy is good, hands down. Jared Sullinger, I like him over 30. That's a pretty no-brainer pick. Nuggets are bad at the power forward position. They got Fareed there. They got what's that young gentleman's name? JJ Hickson. I don't see them giving him any trouble. Sullinger's gonna play a bunch of minutes also. I wish Zeller was on there tonight just because I like Zeller also. Bosch had a great game last night. He actually got over the 40-point threshold. I believe he's at 41.6. That's my estimation. Don't quote me. It may have been 40.6. But greater than 34 against the T-Wolves, I like him also tonight. They've been picking up a lot of slack since Dwayne Wade's been out. No complaints there. I don't think. Let's see. Who holds that power forward position? I'm drawing blanks right now, y'all. That lets me know that the Timberwolves don't have anything for him. Forgive me for drawing these blanks. Against Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose against the Rockets. The Rockets are actually good against point guards. They're the third best defense, but just because Derrick Rose commands so much of the ball, 33 shouldn't be a problem for him. I like him tonight. I don't think Patrick Beverley's just going to stop him. The Rockets have actually been bad on point guards lately, so their defensive stats can be deceiving right now just due to the fact that, like I said, they've been bad on them, and they're actually ranked third best on point guards. But I don't see them stopping Rose tonight. They allow around 34 fantasy points to point guards, and this is 33. But you also got to factor in that when they're doing these averages, they play a lot of average point guards too, and even Rose. And this new Rose we're seeing, which is not a great Rose, but not necessarily just a bad injured Rose. I think he's good enough to go over 33 easy. So we're gonna analyze some of these picks. You got Davis against the Thunder. It could be a lock for him to go over 50. I'm just not playing it tonight. I'm gonna leave that one alone. It's either way. Harden, he could be injured, so I'm gonna leave him alone. He's a game time decision. If he does, Butler could give him some trouble, possibly. What I look for the most, if Harden doesn't play tonight, which I think he is, Butler could go over that 36 threshold. Curry, he played last night, played a great game. He actually didn't play that many minutes. Him, Green, and Thompson didn't play that many minutes, but Green and Thompson hurt me the most. I would have had a nice little check last night if I could have got Green and Thompson to play more minutes. Green was actually 2 points off from saving me, but I guess he didn't want to give me a hand last night. Well, honestly, it's because he got taken out. No complaints there. He should be another strong play tonight. I have faith in. Steph Curry, I like him. Obviously, Steph Curry is always a great play. Gasol against the Rockets. This is either way. I'll stay away from that one. I wouldn't be surprised if he went over 40. John Wall, I like him for 40 tonight. I'm just playing it safe for y'all. I don't want to present my risky matchup as much anymore because I don't know if y'all play my matchup exact. So if y'all are going to play my matchup exact, this is the safe picks I like. And just be aware of Kyle Lowry. That could go either way. Gasol against the Jazz. Gasol's going against Cantor Gobert. He's a veteran. The only reason I don't like playing Gasol and Randolph is not because they're not great and they don't achieve these stats. It's just so hard to guess because they alternate games. They switch up between each other so much. Randolph, as you said, I've explained that one. Vucevic against the Spurs. The Spurs aren't a great defense. It's just when you got young players, I'm typically a Scrooge against such young players who are new to the game. So they scare me a lot just because the inexperience doesn't allow them to stay consistent. Vucevic doesn't just necessarily have a go-to move like a Tim A. Duncan that I like. So a person like Tim Duncan, I'm sure he can achieve those stats, for instance, just because I know he has a go-to move. Cousins has a go-to move. Davis has a go-to move. But Vucevic, he's still finding himself. He's still into working. So 37, I believe that's a little high tonight. So I would, if I were to make that pick, I'd go greater than 37 anyway, just because I'm going to stay away from that one. Jimmy Butler tonight, if Harden doesn't play, Jimmy Butler's going to have a beast game. It shouldn't be a blowout between the Bulls and the Rockets. They always have a pretty good game between each other. Out of these picks that I went through that I didn't pick, this is a strong one, even if Harden plays, just due to the fact that Butler plays off the ball so much. His passing lane is impeccable. His defense on the passing lane is impeccable, hands down. He plays those passing lanes. That's his strength. He definitely is. Tyreke Evans, he controls the ball a whole lot. So if the Pelicans are going to be in this game tonight against the Thunder, I like Tyreke Evans. I'm just not picking them because I'm trying to play safe for y'all. Millsap against the Wizards. Millsap and Horford are another Gasol and Randolph combination that just plagues at me a lot. Millsap at 36, that's a runaway, and I'm going to play that one. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to keep it to a minimum right now. Horford, same deal. Monroe and Drummond are another one of these combinations, but Monroe has been a little bit more consistent. If you want to sing him out against David West, that's your business. But I know the Pacers are a pretty good defensive team. As I've praised them, despite the fact that they lose, their defensive schemes are pretty good with Frank Vogel. They play fundamental basketball. They don't reach outside of themselves. If they had Paul George, which is preaching to the choir, they would be in a whole different category right now, just because of how strong they are. Drummond, Monroe is typically the most consistent, as I previously referenced. So Drummond against Hibbert, he may get a few calls tonight. A lot of foul calls on Hibbert. If he can do that, he's gonna get to the free throw line. And if you didn't know, he's a horrible free throw shooter. So that's why I don't like playing him, because his free throws are atrocious. Last night he did great against Whiteside, but I just think that's due to the fact that Whiteside was out a lot of the times that Drummond was in. Tim Duncan, that's a lot of minutes. That's what I worry about most when you play a guy like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, he just doesn't play a lot of minutes. Sometimes he rests. I don't believe he's going to rest tonight, but it's 35 is steep. In the playoffs, I like him for 35, but regular season, I'm not going to mess with that. Teague versus the Wizards, Wall's a pretty good defender. Wall's active hands. Teague may see a few turnovers tonight. Beal's pretty active in the passing lane also. Hayward, he had a great game last night. I think that's going to get turned down a little bit between Tony Allen and Green leaving. They may throw Lee on him in the perimeter position. Ty Lawson, he's another one of those guys that punched me in my mouth last night. He was 1.6 points away from achieving value for me. And hey, we're not going to talk about that one. We can talk about the Celtics tonight, though. Marcus Smart, he's not going to stop Lawson. Hopefully this is a tight game, so I'm actually going to go ahead and rock with this one tonight. Thompson, he should play a lot more minutes. He only had like 16.7 fantasy points last night, but that's because he didn't play a lot of minutes. It was a blowout. Favors versus the Grizzlies. I don't like any big man. I don't like anybody, honestly, against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies just step on my hopes of winning games, man. I don't know what to say about them. You got Ibaka versus the Pelicans. He's been having some great games. He may have his hands full with Anthony Davis tonight. Pelicans aren't just necessarily a great perimeter shooting team, so he could snatch a lot of rebounds. I like him over 32, man. We can go ahead and rock with him. Ellis at the Warriors. 32 is a low threshold for him, but the reason 32 is so low is because they're accounting to the fact that Thompson's on him. I don't like him tonight. I wouldn't say greater or less. I'm indifferent. Oladipo, 32 is pretty low for him also, but he's going up against the Spurs. They don't necessarily just have a standout defensive player other than Kawhi, and I wouldn't even Kawhi. I keep messing up his name. Other than Kawhi, but Kawhi's not even just necessarily a standout. People benefit from the system the Spurs run. Popovich is just such a amazing mind, so I like him. I just don't trust to pick him. Draymond Green, because he went out yesterday, he killed my fantasy. I keep stressing that. Thompson, Lawson, and Green killed my fantasy. So give me a second to go ahead and look at these stats on Green against the Mavericks. Let's see, against the Mavericks, I'll go ahead and say I like Green. It shouldn't be a blowout, so I'm going to go ahead and put my faith in him once again. Hopefully he doesn't make me look like a fool. Green is very underrated. People do not pay attention to him, but he's underrated. I mean, rebounds, defense, gets you a few points, 12 to 15. You can't. I mean, what can you ask from him? What do you want him to do? 360 duck? I don't know. I just bring this up because discussions and debates I've had with other fantasy people, and it's like Green is amazing. He doesn't get his credit. Dang, Dang versus the Heat. He's going up against Whiteside. He may be a little lower than 30 tonight just due to the fact that Whiteside is a strong defender. Dang is another one of those guys who doesn't have a go-to move. He's still learning. He actually runs the floor pretty well, so that's the way he could beat Whiteside. Pekovic may actually get a few minutes tonight, so I'd just be cognizant of that. Lopez against the Raptors. Lopez go either way. It depends on his minute production. If y'all trust him to play a lot of minutes tonight, I would say go ahead and play him for that 30. And that looks like that's all our picks, guys. I mean, I did all right tonight. I'll do all right tonight, I mean. So I hope y'all have some happy winners. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this. I always do to let y'all know I'm not pump faking y'all out. I'm really making these picks. And yes, I want to purchase another roster. I'm gonna go ahead and do some tweaking from our previous rosters, and I hope y'all have some happy winners and y'all have a great day.